Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Jennifer Scrapping Kane. Today I'm sharing another layout for 30 days of sketches. Today's sketch is by Rebecca. Sorry, can't pronounce her last name. I will have her information down below. And I'm going to create two layouts of my son when he was 2 years old and he dressed up as a clown for Halloween. The photos are not very Halloweenish. There's not very much Halloween colors in it. His teacher was dressed up as Dr. Seuss. So I just have the three photos of him with his teacher and then three photos of him in a little car outside on the playground at his preschool. And those are the photos that I'm going to use for these two layouts. And this layout was fairly simple. It did look the same on both sides, but it was kind of varying a little bit in design as far as how the strips were laying out. So I brought in a lot of scraps from my circus layouts. I had created a few circus layouts a few years ago, and I had most of the scraps left over. I have part of a sticker sheet and some embellishments, like ephemera pieces. But I did bring in some other papers from Carta Bella. The Circus collection, I believe they're both from Carta Bella. Yeah, they're both from Carta Bella. And so they're definitely a nice texture as far as the paper goes. But there wasn't a whole lot to use as far as the embellishments. These ones are definitely not my style of sticker. Um, I have a love-hate relationship with Echo Park and Carta Bella and their sticker sheets because a lot of them are icons or they're with words. So there's a lot of words. And I just did not, on one layout, I did embrace kind of more of the words than on the other one. But I make it work, and I think it looks pretty good in the end. So first I'm going to get started with the teacher one, and I'm going to place basically the star banner and the stripe banner at the top and the bottom. And then I'm going to lay the three photos across the middle like they have in the sketch. And then I'm going to add a couple embellishments, and it's going to be done. And this is Acrylic Stash Busting. If I didn't say that, I believe I did. But Nicole and Natalie and Jessica might have layouts up also today, so I will have their links down below. And you can see what they created with their acrylic. And this is older acrylic from my stash, mainly from Peartree Cutfiles. I did show like quite a few packages of stars, and a couple of them were from Not Just for Boys. Those ones end up not getting used. It's all that I used was Peartree Cutfiles, and I'm going to end up using her bats and a couple of stars. And pretty much that was it, because it's fairly simple, but it works for these older photos that are not the best photos. I could have used just one of the photos of my son with his teacher, but he was so funny. Like, he kept giggling and laughing while we were trying to take a picture. So I don't really have a serious one with him. And this particular teacher absolutely loved him to death. He was a little hellion when he was 2 years old. He was just full of energy, and she used to deal with him very well. His little shenanigans, and he would try to come and find me because I worked at the daycare. So she was very good at distracting him and keeping him in the classroom versus trying to come and find mom. So I definitely loved her because she made it a whole lot easier for me to be at work and for him to be there. But anyways, I'm going to add in a couple of the tickets. That's what I added up at the top. And then I put Ringmaster at the top, kind of a nod for her for being his teacher and, ringing him in. And then the little star at the bottom has a cannonball machine on it, and it says human cannonball, which I kind of thought plays on, his little shenanigans at daycare. And then the greatest show. And again, that's just adding the darker blue at the top and the bottom. I kind of want it to add the same at the bottom as I did at the top, since I'm not going to add very much. So I kept it the same and went in a diagonal with the two clusters, and that's pretty much going to be it. I left room so that I could add journaling, because I definitely want to add journaling about how, she, took care of him and, was very good with him. So here I'm just adding some more of the tickets. I needed a different blue ticket because the other one was going to be upside down if I used it. So I re-inked that up, and I'm going to tuck it in here. And then I'm going to add this acrylic star here on the layout and the little bat. Pretty much that's going to be it. And the acrylic star at the top, I did back it with black paper. And that black paper is actually from Miss Kate's designs. That's from her cardstock kit. And the black matched really well. So I went ahead and used it. So here's a few close-ups, and then we'll get started on the right-hand side. And the right-hand side, I put a large title at the top, so it's going to be a little bit different than the other layout. And these layouts will go fairly close together in the layout. I think there's one other layout. Actually, there's a double-page layout from daycare of just him in his clown costume. And then there's going to be these two layouts. So I'll probably put one in the front and then the double page in between them. So they won't go right by each other, but they definitely will be in the same album. So these little square photos are different sizes, and again, they were already cut since they're from my older son's album. And in his album, I have his photos attached to cardstock, and it's just plain cardstock, and the photos are just in the album so that you can still enjoy the album even if the layouts are not complete. You can still see the photos, but I have not done that for my youngest son, so it's not as easy to put his layouts back in his albums yet. Hopefully one day I will get time to do that, but not right now. I would rather create layouts than mess with the albums, honestly. So that's what I do. That little red paper just did not look straight to me, and I really think it's the stars in the background that are not straight. So I just went with it. I was like, forget it. I'm just going to go with it and get it done. And this little black and white diamond, I want it to cut and not cut through one of the diamonds. I wanted it to have a diamond at the end and the beginning since it was going to fit perfectly. So that's what I did. I just marked it with a pencil, and then I'm going to bring in the border sticker, this one here, from the sticker sheet. And I thought I was going to add it on top of the diamonds. I actually end up adding it on the layout and putting the diamonds below it. And I like that better. But at first, I wasn't sure if that's how it was going to go. So I'm going to start adding the title and other things back in and see how I like it. And at the end, you will see that there's 2 more stickers I'm going to add that I forgot to add while I was filming. But I'll point those out in the close-ups when I get there. So here I'm going to go ahead and add the border sticker down because I do decide that I like it there. And then I'm going to add, I almost put ATG on the wrong side. I forgot to flip it over. And I'm going to add this one down at the bottom. And it just gives a little bit more black at the bottom. And then it also gives a place for this little lion to sit along with the tags. So I'm going to go ahead and place 3 tags there. And then the little lion I'm popping up on play foam. I'm also going to pop the title up on play foam. I don't think I've done that yet. And then I will bring in acrylic bats. And pretty much that's going to be it. It's fairly simple. I'm going to add in a couple of the acrylic tiny stars from Peartree Cutfiles in red, black, yellow. And that just matches with the colors. And I'm just going to add those just to add a little bit more acrylic. since it is acrylic stash busting, and I should be adding just a little bit more acrylic since I have so much of it. But I really used a lot of Halloween acrylic, so I don't have very much Halloween acrylic. So I was just bringing in other acrylic that I had, but these acrylic bats worked perfectly just to add a little Halloween-ish to the layout since the colors are not Halloween or your typical Halloween. So here's where I'm adding in the little stars. And like I said, I've had those for a while, so those are not available anymore at Peartree Cutfiles. But Marie has lots of acrylic pieces every single month. She usually has a different theme each month, and she adds lots of unique and different items that you can use on your layouts. I love buying acrylic from her. It does come from the UK, so you have to wait for a while for it to come to the US, but it's totally worth it. And I have no idea what I'm doing. Oh, I was looking for thickers. And here I'm going to use, again, the Shine Bright. This is the same one I used on yesterday's layout to spell out the. And I had enough letters to spell out is in. So the title is going to in total be Circus is in town. So now I have to look for other white thicker letters to use for town. And I found these ones here, and they're going to fit perfectly right here at the top. And they're just a little bit bigger. I do have to move them over. And I did use liquid glue to put those down, so I just kind of skipped over that because nobody wants to watch me put letters down. I believe I'm going to hold it up here in a minute. I'm going to add the bats. And I had two bats that were the same. One is shiny and one is matte, but I don't really care. I kind of wanted it more to be the same exact bat on both sides because I like the way that it looks on the opposite sides of the title. And in the sketch, that's where she had her title, was at the top of the layout in the middle. So that's where I put this one. So there's a little bit of close-ups to it. And then I will show you here in a minute where I added two more labels. One that says "Be a clown, join the fun." So I just, again, wanted to add a couple more stickers and more words. I don't know why Echo Park adds so many words, but I tried to make it work. And then the little blue cotton candy over there on the right-hand side. And that's it. 2 layouts complete, and I will see you guys tomorrow with another layout. Bye!